Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss major orientations of literary theory. Literary theory is a philosophical enterprise. It poses general questions about literature, such as what distinguishes literature from other kinds of communication, what is the nature of poetic language, what are the standards by which we should judge literary works, how do we discriminate one kind of literature from another. It may derive theoretical notions through interpretations of specific works, but generally it favors abstract argument over practical criticism. Today we witness diverse literary theories running in political, psychological, historical, and aesthetic directions. To distinguish them, the Romantic scholar M.H. Abrahams has usefully distinguished four orientations of literary theory. First is the mimetic orientation. In mimetic theories, literature is measured by how well it represents the real world. Plato censured poetry because he believed it distorts reality. For instance, showing the gods as petty tyrants and presenting the mere appearances of things as their truth. In the 20th century, Marxist critics praised works of social realism because they depicted what they considered the heart of social life and human history, that is to say, class relations. By holding up a mimetic standard, theorists provide a yardstick by which to distinguish true representations from false ones, and hence to discriminate good literature from bad. Second is the pragmatic orientation. In these theories, literature is judged by the effects it produces. Didactic theories of literature fit this category because they approach literature in terms of what it teaches. As the 18th century man of letters, Samuel Johnson, put it, the end of writing is to instruct, the end of poetry is to instruct by pleasing. If theorists have other pragmatic aims in mind, not didactic ones, but social or political ones, they may prefer literature that dramatizes a historical condition. For instance, slave society in Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin and totalitarian thinking in George Orwell's 1984. The assumption behind these pragmatic theories is that literature has a direct influence upon the individuals who read it. Third is the expressive orientation. In these theories, literature is understood as an expression of the author. The creative process is an externalization of what the author feels, perceives, or thinks inside. As Romantic poet William Wordsworth put it, poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling. Literature is the conversion of private memories, experiences, traumas, and opinions into artistic form. And criticism works backward, disclosing the subjectivity behind the words. Expressive theories are linked with Romantic conceptions of art and artists, which place the individual mind, not the medium, the tradition, or the society, at the center of the work. In extreme cases, as in some forms of symbolism and surrealism, the poet disregards the outside world altogether, heeding only his or her inner life in the creation of art. Fourth is the objective orientation. In these theories, literature is measured as a discrete object, more or less independent of the world, the reader, and the author. Although they admit these latter elements into the creative and reading processes, objective critics concentrate on the work itself. It is the objective qualities of the language, plot, images, and so on that count, not the externals of the outside world, the reader's impressions or the author's mind. Objective theories pose the question of what kind of object the work of literature is, what concrete elements go into it, and how words and meanings come together to form a literary thing. Objective theories often begin with empirical analyses detailing the verbal ingredients of the work, then drawing large conclusions about literature from them. Formalist criticism fits this category by focusing on the work's formal properties, diction, prosody, etc., without trying to explain their existence by recourse to something outside the work. This approach is called self-referential. For Cleanth-Brooks, William Empson, and other mid-century formalists, poetic language lay in paradox, irony, and ambiguity, that is, turns of language that complicate the semantic and instrumental functions of language. These categories are by no means exhaustive, and in practice, they frequently overlap. Plato mixes mimetic and didactic criticisms of literature, while Aristotle blends formalism and didacticism into a defense of literature. 18th century England was dominated by pragmatic theories, whereas 19th century England by expressive theories. The common element to them all is that they address literature as a discrete mode of communication. Thank you very much.